The matter of the state of Michigan versus Terrence Stuckey. Issue 5-00798. Appearance, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. Randy Berman on behalf of the people.
Thank you, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Aaron Schroeder on behalf of Mr. Stuckey, who joins us on the polycom from the Ingham County Jail today.
Mr. Stuckey, can you hear us?
Yes, ma'am.
Today was the date set for a probable cause conference for count 1, assault with a dangerous weapon, felonious assault, and there's a count 2 of a domestic violence, and a count 3 weapons felony firearms. Matter is scheduled for preliminary examination next week, April 4th at 8:30. Will we continue to examine?
Yes, Your Honor, that is correct.
There's a complaint of violation of conditional release. Mr. Stuckey was arraigned by Magistrate Milmore back on March 17th. He indicated that he's not to have contact directly or indirectly with Karen Ann Gonzalez, the supposed victim in this matter. However, the violation alleges that he's violated the no contact order by having contact with the victim, called and spoke to her 9 times between the time of March 17th and March 20th while in the Ingham County Jail on a recorded line. And so there's a report. Did you get a copy of the report, counsel?
I'm looking right now, Your Honor.
I've got something in here, but it wasn't on my schedule, but it actually been filed. I just had a report.
Okay. Okay, so Mr. Stuckey, let me advise you that you've been accused of violating your bond 9 times from the Ingham County Jail. You have the right to have a contested hearing on those violations and the right to be represented by your attorney at that hearing. Violating your bond is a contempt of court proceeding, and if you're found to be guilty of that, you are subject to a penalty of 93 days per violation. Do you understand that?
I do, Your Honor. But I only called my
Hey,
own.
stop.
Oh, I think your attorney is telling you to stop. I'm going to remind you of your right to remain silent because anything you say can be used against you. I'm going to enter a not guilty plea on your behalf at this time. This matter will be set for a PA 53 hearing. And due to my schedule and the new additional charges, I'm finding good cause to go beyond the 21 days. I'm resetting this. I'm finding good cause to go beyond the 21 days to have this matter set after April 4th. All right. May 1st at 9 a.m. for both. Mr. Stuckey, do you have any questions for the court?
I don't even know what to say, so I just, my attorney will speak for me because everything I seem to say gets me in trouble, and I don't know what to do.
Okay. You should talk to your attorney in private. I don't know if you have any questions for the court. However,
I only have one thing though. I've been here for 2 weeks and I've been asking for medical attention because I was dealing with problems before I got here, and no one has addressed anything that I asked of. And
yeah,
I have a
you're
serious
seeking
condition.
medical attention for what?
I have MRSA. Look at my face. My face is blown out. I've been asking and asking. I've seen other inmates come in here. They've seen the nurse or whatever. No one is addressing anything I asked.
You submitted a kite for medical assistance?
Yes, I did, ma'am. Yes, I did. As soon as I got here. Because this is something I was dealing with before I came here.
Okay, that's an issue your attorney should be helping you resolve. The court's doesn't go to the jail to make sure you get your kites responded to. However, if there is a kite, your attorney can contact the jail to follow up on it.
I will do that now that I'm aware of this, Your Honor. Thank you.
Do you have any other questions for the court?
So when's the soonest? So I got to do another month in jail?
You don't have to do any months in jail. You can post bond and then you don't have to sit in jail. There was a bond on this.
I mean, but it was a 50,000 cash assured.
That's due to the nature of the offenses and the risk of flight. So you can post a bond, you get a bondsman, and then you don't have to sit in jail for next month, okay?
I don't have $50,000.
Additional matters for the record?
Then I would just propose that the court, if it could, send notice to the jail that the defendant's phone privileges should be suspended until such time as we get back to court. It's quite a amount of time before we're back in court. And I understand the reason for that. However, it appears as though at least we have a little bit of evidence here from what I've read in the report about what is contained in those phone calls about the defendant telling the victim what to say and saying things were worded wrong and you need to tell him this, that, and the other, that his phone privileges should be suspended except for phone calls with his attorney. Obviously, he needs contact with them, but I think at this point in time, it might be best to have that happen.
Okay, your request is granted. His privileges will be revoked for calls and video visits except to his attorney.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Excuse me.
Yes.
I need to speak to my attorney because I only call my phone.
Okay.
Stop.
You can speak to your attorney.
I didn't
You
call the
can
detention.
you can speak to your attorney. It will not be in the middle of the court though. He'll make arrangements to speak to you privately. Okay.
What I'm saying is, if it's shown that I only call my phone and
Mr.
my
Stuck.
phone trip is gonna be
Stop
be
it. Please
given
stop.
back to me, I have no family in
You
Michigan.
have
You
I
talk
have
to your
no-
attorney. Talk to your attorney off the record. We'll address this at your hearing. You're all set. You can let the deputies know you're done for today.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Bill number 15-03544.
Thank you, Your Honor. Randall Berman on behalf of the people.
Jacob Riley on behalf of Mr. Rogers.
So he's supposed to appear. He was before Judge Clark on August 14th, 2015, to which he was sentenced. Whatever's here looks different than what's on the judgment of sentence. It says in the file, 1 year or $2,000. Okay. He failed to appear for sentencing on the October 2nd, 2015, and we didn't see him again until February 12th, 2025. He was supposed to report the probation by March 28th at 9. That didn't happen. We issued I revoked his bond, and then he logged into my Zoom this week, and we told him he needs to get to probation the same day if he wanted the bench warrant quashed. He did, and so that leaves us here. There was a judgment of sentence prepared, but it just was not ever executed, and that's because Mr. Rogers failed to appear for that sentencing. And I now have an updated criminal history, because obviously you didn't get to probation in enough time for them to actually do a meaningful investigation or report.
Early this week, you mean, Your Honor?
Correct.
Yeah, she scheduled a date for me to come in. I believe, yeah, April 4th.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, and so I reviewed your prior criminal history. It looks like you had stayed out of some level of interaction with the criminal justice department until recently. So you just picked up a new charge, is what it looks like.
Your Honor, I believe that it's actually from an incident back in 2015, the pending case.
I have here, February 11th, 2025. He was arrested on a misdemeanor larceny, which is the same day he was arraigned on his bench warrant.
Well, he does,
That's how he didn't turn himself on this bench warrant.
right, not that he turned himself in, but just to say that I believe that larceny is from back.
Yeah, no new cases.
Okay. So you didn't, so how did you get picked up on the warrant?
Oh, I was riding my bike and I got stopped.
Okay.
The officer was curious about the electric bike I was riding
Okay, I
on.
don't want to hear about that situation.
Okay.
Just want to know if you turned yourself in. Where have you been for 10 years?
I was in Indiana. Um, I have children there, and so that's kind of part of like how I got stuck down there.
So you knew you had sentencing and you just said, no, I'm just gonna go to Indiana.
No, it was a case of that when I was in Indiana, like I was telling the lawyer, I was dealing with child support, and I got incarcerated there.
For 10
And-
years?
No, Your Honor. But it was a case that went from 19 to almost 24.
I don't know what you mean, from 2019?
Yes, ma'am.
You're supposed to be here in 2015.
Yes.
Where were you in 2015?
I was in Indiana.
Why were you not here for your sentencing?
I was doing court days back and forth, Your Honor, with Indiana as far as the child support. That's what I was telling.
Why were you not here for your sentencing? Well, I don't care that you got another case going. What's that got to do with why you didn't come for your sentencing?
Yeah, Your Honor, at the time, I was, like I said, I was trying to take care of my children and deal with the child support stuff down there in Indiana. I take responsibility for not showing up for my court date, Your Honor. I'm not trying to get around that.
So you weren't being held in 2015 in jail, correct?
Not the whole.
So you just decided you weren't coming to court here for your sentencing, correct?
No, Your Honor.
So what happened? Why didn't you come?
I was in Indiana at the time dealing with that situation, and I told them that I had the court here in Michigan, but I went to jail there.
You didn't go to jail in 2015.
That's what I was explaining to the attorney, Your Honor. As far as I remember, in Indiana, I got picked up on the child support warrant.
Yes, but you didn't go in 2015 to jail.
It was like 2015, I believe.
You just finished telling me it was 2019.
That was a different time, Your Honor. I'm just speaking on 2015.
Okay, so you went to jail in Indiana in 2015. Where in Indiana?
Lafayette.
Okay, so and how long were you in jail?
Remember, I was there, I don't know, a few months.
Okay, when you got out, why didn't you come report to this court?
I didn't have any. I lost everything, Your Honor.
You lost what?
As far as possessions and jobs, and I was just broke. I was trying to get back on my feet in Indiana to come back this way. Like I said, I take responsibility, Your Honor. It was a lot going on as far as the children and stuff, and
Why do you keep talking about a lot going on as far as the children and stuff? It's
I-
like you weren't taking care of your children if you had a child support issue going on.
yeah, I was trying to do my best.
Okay, you can make allocution, Mr. Rowland.
Right, Roger sentencing, this was 10 years ago. I think he certainly is very different today than he was then. He is employed. He does have stable housing. Certainly well past his days of any kind of mischief or crime, including larceny. And he has made efforts to get current with child support and take care of his children. In those regards, I think certainly he has improved as a person, and I don't think he's a risk to the community at this point. He sends it to court's discretion.
Where do you work? For how long?
2.5, about 2.5 months, 3 months.
Fine at $250. What are you gonna pay?
Have 30 days, Your Honor.
How much you gonna pay in 30 days? The full amount?
Yes, ma'am.
Come on, make payment at the criminal traffic window and he'll be all set. So he has a pre-trial on another matter now?
Yes, that larceny to 2015 is scheduled for pre-trial. Well, it was scheduled on the 24th. But rescheduled at this point.
If I may, Your Honor, that's why I came or called, because I had the Zoom meeting for the 24th on that case, and then I came in, but so it's back from 2015 as well, I guess.
10. April 14th at 10 is gonna be your pre-trial on the other matter.
April 14th, 10 a.m., Your Honor.
That's correct. All set. We'll give you a notice, though.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.